right, welcome back, Videoguys Live. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. we tell you about the technology we sell, the products we sell, promotions, what's going on in our industry. We concentrate on things like live streaming, video editing, video storage, production. Today's show is the third part in a series on back to school, helping teachers and educators create a better, more engaging experience for their students for education. So before we go into today's show, which is Switchers and Mixers for Multi-Camera Productions, a webinar for technology directors, superintendents, and administrative leaders, I want to remind people what the last two shows were, and those shows are available from our website, on Facebook, and on our YouTube page. The first show we did 2 weeks ago, Remote Learning Tips for Teachers. This was a really great show. In 2 short weeks, believe it or not, we've got up to 20,000 views on it almost. So obviously it's resonating. We did some good stuff. The last show, we really focused on PTZ cameras. Now over here, we use a new tech PTZ camera, and that's what I'm looking in right now for this shot. And we use several presets for it, but you know, we like to talk about what we're doing here, and that's a PTZ camera over here. And then over here, we're actually using a Panasonic CX350 camera, just to let you know what's going on. But today's show is all about switches and mixers. That's what I have up here. There'll be a little overlap with some of the stuff we talked about in the first 2 shows, but today's show is really about how you can use multi-camera productions to make, using multiple cameras and mixers and switchers, to really bring your production and bring it up there. You know, with a camera and a mixer, you can do effects and stuff like that. You bring up lower third, so Adam's going to bring up a lower third right now so you can see what we're talking about. That's what's on the bottom of the screen. And you're going to see it says, give us a call, 800-323-2325. That lower third, if you're a teacher and educator, could be a hint about what the subject matter is. You know, we're talking about Presidents of the United States, or your website, or go to my webpage, my teacher webpage, or my Google, you know, Meet, whatever it is. All kinds of different content you can put on the lower third. Another way to engage is you can see what we have going on over here is I've got a screen over my shoulder. That screen comes from the stuff that comes from the laptop that's over here, my laptop. Dun, dun, dun. That's what's on the screen. Oh, I pulled that out. Did I just screw everything up, or is it just the power, Adam? Cool. I'm going to go to the next slide before I break everything and talk about what we're going to talk about first on the show. The first products we're going to talk about, and they're over here. Do we have a camera angle on this? I forgot to practice that before with you, Adam. So if I threw you for a loop, I apologize. Yes, we do. That's these 2 products right here. And what we have here is the Epiphan Pearl, the original product, and the Pearl Mini. Now, we've done several shows in depth on both these products going into it, but what I really like about these products that separate them from other products is they're easy to use. You could set them up, and then the teacher or professor or educator can run the show using it themselves, which I think is really, really cool because it's very easy to use. With the Mini, you touch the screen on the top. We've done some demos on it, but on a higher level, if you're a higher education facility looking to go remote learning for your students, well, these products integrate fantastic with Kaltura and Panopto. And Kaltura and Panopto are video management systems for enterprise level education managing. So you can automatically turn the machines on or off, set to record, to play, to stream, what have you. And it also allows you with these products to basically categorize and store an archive for your students to be able to watch the video clips whenever they need to get to them. So the Pearl Mini, $34.95, a fantastic Swiss Army knife, does everything you could ask for. It does recording, streaming, mixing, and encoding and playback, recording and playback for 2 inputs. And then the Pearl, the big one, the Pearl 2, which can also be upgraded to 4K with a firmware upgrade for $63.75. That one has more inputs, more outputs, more capability. So Adam, I think we have a little, okay, now I want to go to another family of encoders, the Matrox Monarch encoders. And I have the Monarch up here. This one is the Monarch LCS, Lecture Capture Series, the Monarch. And what I really like about the Monarch products is they're really kind of set it, forget it, simple products. The Monarch, the base Monarch for $9.95 just does recording and playback HDMI. The HDX adds SDI and HDMI for 2-channel recording, 2-channel playback. And then this is the LCS. What I really like about this product is it was really thought about for lecture capture and remote learning. And basically what this allows you to do is mix both a input from like a PowerPoint and your video, and allows you to put it in a slide in different ways on your screen so that you can have both the talent, in this case the teacher, and the presentation on the screen at the same time. And these also all integrate beautifully with Panopto and Kaltura in order to give you full integration with time on, time off, and to be remotely controlled from a central IT video command center. So we've got a little video we want to play about Kaltura and Panopto, if we could run that right now.
So what does that really look like from start to finish? If you're an IT professional, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to connect all of your video and audio sources together. You're going to configure the device and register it to those specific platforms, and then everything will be recorded and or streamed directly to the platforms themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, we see people using them for different applications. Some people will put them in a classroom where they don't move. It's a fixed installation. We see other people doing them in a more mobile way, where people come and check out the unit and a camera, and off they run to an empty room somewhere to use it. Or it's a studio environment where you want it to look really good, and you've got lights, and it's more of a production for doing, what would you call those? Just more polished, high polished videos.
Now, we pulled that clip from a full webinar that Epiphan did. I want to stress that both Epiphan and Matrox have full webinars and videos on their websites talking about their integrations with Kaltura and Panopto, and you can also learn more about those products through those webinars and links they provide. But now I want to go into multicam and multi-camera productions. Now, the first thing I want to start with is, why use multiple cameras? Well, first of all, multiple cameras are far more engaging than a simple talking headshot. I mean, here it is. I'm talking on this camera. Can we go back to the talking headshot over here, Adam? Not that exciting when someone's just, you're seeing a face on a screen, blah, 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 just talking. But if you could just turn and face another camera angle, it can make it a little bit more enjoyable to watch the video. It moves a little bit better. You can engage people. Now, maybe I pick up a little sample on this thing, or I say OH, Ohio State. You know, I'm talking about different stuff. I'm moving around. It's got me interactive with the video and what's going on. What else can you do? What is this great for? Lecture centers with multiple speakers, multiple boards, or maybe you've got display items. Maybe it's a lab where you've got lab equipment, or medical where you've got, you know, a skeleton or one of those human parts things where you can take out the lungs and the pancreas and stuff like that. Or perhaps you're doing a mathematical modeling, or you're something with astronomy where you've got, you know, actual, you know, the solar system up there. Whatever is, not even manipulative, but the stuff you're interacting with when you're multiple cameras, it just makes it that much better and easy to follow. We really like it for, you know, maybe you want to take your Board of Ed meetings, you want to start presenting them, you know, online. Well, multiple cameras allows you to have your different Board of Ed members, your community members, your presenters, different shots of the whole Board of Ed together, or close-ups on individual Board of Ed members. Great also for town halls and community outreach. We know right now, in the middle of this epidemic, if you're an administrator from a college or a school district, at any given day, you know you may have to close a certain dorm, a certain building, a certain school, a district, or your whole university, switch to remote learning, switch off town halls, communicating with people. That's key, and multi-cameras, video mixers allow you to do that so much better. Concerts, plays, and performances. You know, I know we're in a world where we all can't get together and watch stuff, but you know, maybe you can't have a room full of people. That doesn't mean you can't do a play or have your kids who are participating in the arts or dance or music still be able to give their performances. It just might not be in front of a live crowd. It might have to be over video streaming of a crowd. But you know what? This is the world we live in, and video streaming isn't going away. And while we all can't wait to be back in venues when we can see performances that stream to us via our devices, where we watch it on our laptop or our phone or our home computer or on, you know, our smart TV, are here to stay. It's not going away, and you know, that's important. And of course, multi-camera. Sports, folks. Multi-camera games, you're going to be doing games, you're going to be showing sports, whether it's high school sports, college sports. The kids want to play, we want the kids to play, but you know what? We can't put fans in the seats, we can't risk people getting each other sick, so what do we need to do? We need to stream those sports and allow people at home, recruiters, other colleges, coaches, people see the games and stuff like that. So a whole bunch of reasons why you want multiple cameras. Now I want to talk about some devices, and the first two devices I want to talk about are low cost, what I'm going to call starter products. But just because they're low cost starter products doesn't mean they're not loaded with power and performance. So the first one I want to talk about is this little beauty right here called the YoloBox. The YoloBox we've done a couple of shows on is actually, can you bring it on this camera over here for me, Adam? This is actually a 7-inch screen that is a touch screen that you can control the box from. It's got HDMI inputs and USB inputs. It's got a card slot that you can actually put a SIM card in so you can stream directly from it. And it's a great little device. It can let you mix multiple cameras, multiple sources, come in to do your basic mixing. Nice and small, super portable, $1,099. The other super easy product to use is the SlingStudio, the Sling Hub. We've done some great shows on the Sling Hub, and the Sling lets you bring in multiple cameras through their cam links, or you can actually run an app on your phone that brings into the Sling. And one of the things I really love about Sling is it's just so easy to use. The app runs on a iPad or on a MacBook, and it's so easy to run, so easy to use. That's why we put the easy button there. SlingStudio, probably the easiest multi-camera product we sell. Now I want to step up to some more elaborate multicam solutions. Before I do, I want to review some advantages. So if we can bring this up full screen so everyone can see, this is what you get from multi-camera. It's more than multiple cameras. First of all, you can mix handheld, PTZ, and zoom cameras. And you can use different connectivity, you know, HDMI, SDI, NDI. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, okay? You can bring in computer displays like we do with this, and we bring in graphics. You can bring in graphics, you can bring in video clips, and you record the master output and the ISO streams. Now, I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, we record our show, and we record it, and, you know, that allows us to upload it to YouTube for editing or do what we have to do. But one of the things that's real important with a multi-camera solution is it lets you record the ISO streams. Those are the individual streams. What's great about that is now I can take those ISO streams and my finished main output, bring it into an NLE like Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, or Avid, or Edius, or Vegas, or whatever you want to use. And now you can edit it, maybe make a highlight clip, shorten it, use whatever you want. But by recording each camera, we now give us our editor the multiple capability to develop what wants to do. So let's admit it. All our schools, all our educators, for the most part, a lot of you are doing remote education, remote learning for the first time ever. And your live presentations that you do this year, there's no reason down the road you can't go back in, pull out your best stuff, edit it down, and create even better lessons that may be partially pre-recorded for the future. Also, teachers can share their lessons with other teachers. And once again, you may do a class that's 40 minutes long, but you might have the best 5 minutes you ever did in your life of teaching that subject that just clicked. And if you can pull that out and have that be on a video that's on your YouTube page or in your Google Docs, just helps kids learn, and that's what this is all about, helping keep kids engaged so they learn more. Next, I want to talk about a technology that we talk about a lot on our show. It was invented by New Tech. It's called NDI, and NDI for education is really important. What makes it more important than anything else? Number one, NDI lets you use your existing infrastructure. So NDI replaces what is your standard ways of cabling a video arrangement out. So normally we use SDI or HDMI cables. With NDI, the video gets passed over and through your standard network cabling that you have in your classroom, in your home, in your school, in your office. It uses GigE, Ethernet, and if you have PoE, Power over Ethernet, you can actually power NDI devices as well. But via that NDI, not only do you get video going from a camera to a mixer, you also get the ability for the mixer to control that camera if it's a PTZ camera, or send other information like comms information for you to talk to your cameraman, or perhaps it's just the tally light letting you know that the camera's on, and other things to that effect. So that's very, very cool. And there's no need to run SDI and HDMI cabling because you can use your existing network cabling, but you can also mix NDI with HDMI and SDI, so it's not all or nothing type setup. Video goes out of the camera to NDI aware devices on the network, which means any NDI aware any NDI device can see any other NDI device. So that means if this camera is NDI and I have a laptop that's running an NDI program on it, I can see that camera from anywhere in the school. Sorry. Sorry about that, folks. You can also decode. That means anywhere where I have a network jack, I can take a decoder, and those are inexpensive devices, which we're not going to go into this show, but we've done many shows on them from like Bird Dog or New Tech. And with your decoder, you can now plug an HDMI TV in, and now anywhere you have a network jack, you can now have a television monitor that could be presenting anything that came from any camera, any mixer on the network. So think about this. You could be doing a show in the auditorium in a major lecture center while also having the output of that show via HDMI decode be in multiple smaller classrooms or in dorm rooms or in study halls or wherever you want to send it throughout your school system, as long as it's on the same network. And then also, all NDI-enabled products on the network can communicate and share video with each other. That's the magic bullet. That's the secret sauce that makes this whole thing so great. Everything that's NDI sees everything else that's NDI, making everything work together. Okay, I want to talk about a very cool software product, and in fact, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be bringing in a special person on Wirecast to talk about it. But Telestream Wirecast is a super easy software to use. It's available $4.99 for the Studio, $6.99 for the Pro version. I'm a real big fan of the Pro version for the extra stuff it gives you, like ISO and NDI record and playback and decode. It's a little bit more elaborate, plus some better audio tools. Both are great, runs on Windows or Mac, which makes it super great. And one of the things people say is, well, if I run Wirecast on my Mac doesn't have any inputs, how do I get in? Well, I get the video in two ways. I get it through NDI, like we talked about, which is over my network, or you can get an encoder. This is a HDMI to USB 3 encoder that I can plug the USB 3 into my Mac, and now I can bring video, up to 4K video, into my Wirecast. That's very cool. These come from Epiphan. This one's about $4.99. There's a bunch of people who sell these products. Some are less expensive, some are more expensive. We really love the Epiphan stuff because it's rugged and solid, and it doesn't give up heat, and it just runs and it just works. So that's a little about Wirecast. And then if you want to get into a more elaborate Wirecast, Wirecast actually sells a product called the Gear. That's this big box we have right here. And can we tilt the camera on it, Adam? I know we didn't set this up the way I should have reviewed it with you, but here we go on this camera. There we go. The Wirecast Gear is a dedicated computer. It is rugged. It can be mounted. It sits on little foots, or it can be mounted rack mounted. What separates Wirecast Gear from other computers is it's really made with top-of-the-line components. We've got, Xeon processors in there. We've got error-correcting memory. We've got SSD, M2 storage in there. It's got XLR jacks in the back. You can get versions that are 4 HDMI for $59.95, the 310. You can get 4 SDIs. That's the 320 for $69.95. Or the 420, which gives you 5 SDI captures and a program SDI output as well for $89.95. What I really like about the 420 also is the 420 adds a discrete NVIDIA graphics card. And that really opens up a world of power and performance that lets that box really not just do a phenomenal job with live streaming and encoding, but if you put Adobe Premiere on this box, you can edit and cut till the cows come home. It's just a phenomenal box, and I really love it. So the Gear 420, it's a little bit more expensive, but if you've got a budget that's closer to $10,000, you will not regret having that level of I/O, that level of GPU, that level of performance in there. So the Gear product line, great product line, dedicated computers built with top-notch workstation level components for running Wirecast Gear. Next, whoa, I went too far. The TriCaster Mini 4K. That's right here. This is the TriCaster Mini 4K NDI, and I'd like to try to bring this over here so folks can see something, because there's something a little weird about this product. What's crazy that's going on here? We don't have HDMI or SDI jacks. We only have network ports. Why? Because you can directly attach via NDI to this puppy. It also, when you buy it, it comes with 2 converters, which lets you take HDMI to NDI. Phenomenal product. The Live Panel software makes it real easy to run a show. So what Live Panel basically does is, with Live Panel, you are one of the experts. Let's say you're using this in a high school. Well, maybe your 11th and 12th graders who are more experienced can set up the show. But with the Live Panel easy interface, which just runs on your laptop or a touch panel, a tablet, you can make it so easy that a freshman can run it or a volunteer can run it. And that we really like a lot, because you can have a highly complex show, but that's so easy to run. It's got Skype TX 2 channels, which means we can bring in people from out of town. We use Skype TX on our shows when we bring in remote guests. It also allows you to support SRT, which is a whole technology we went into in some previous shows, which is the future of secure, reliable transport. And then it's got 4 mix outs. There's also several bundles that I want to go into. If we could bring this up full screen, Adam, I'd appreciate that. We have 3 flavors available, the Mini 4K. We have the base bundle, which is what you see a la carte. That's where you get the Mini 4K as well as the 2 converters. And then there's the bundle I love, the base bundle, which gets you the Mini 4K. It gets you the 2 converters. It gets you a control surface for doing your mixing, so you can pre-select your mixings. Plus, it gives you a really cool travel case. We've gone into that in depth on some shows. And then if you're looking to do something where you're going to build out a whole studio, well, the Mini 4K Deluxe bundle gives you the TriCaster Mini 4K, the TC1 SP larger control surface, 2 Spark Pluses, and 2 new tech PTZ cameras, all for $18,995. So great bundles there. Now, NewTek also makes their TriCasters, which are standard type products with HDMI inputs or SDI inputs, for $59.95 or $99.95, and these are more basic models. They support NDI, but they're not native NDI like the way the 4K is. They don't have 4K, but they're really good products, and they come in a little bit more affordable pricing for schools, and they have some educational bundles. So you can get the TriCaster Mini HD4 EDU for under $5,000. Now, one of the things we understand is schools have budgets, and those budgets are really tight, but when you can stay under $5,000, it's a lot easier to get that purchase order through, or maybe you can put it on a purchasing card or whatever you need to get that for you. So while it's not the most powerful version of the TriCaster of the world, it does get you into TriCasting, into live multi-camera mixing and streaming for under $5,000. You can also get that product bundled with a control surface and a travel case for $69.95. Or they have a master educational bundle, which includes the SDI version of the TriCaster Mini with the control surface, travel case, and those educational bundles also include an educational curriculum. Now, the big brother of the TriCaster world is the TriCaster TC1. We also have that available. That is available for $14,995. Now, we run our show on a TriCaster TC1. That's what Adam's running the show from here. That's what lets us bring up all the lower thirds, the Skype TX, all the cool stuff. It is a more elaborate product that gives you more inputs, more outputs. It supports 4K, and it's also available in several bundles. You can get the base bundle for $19,995 with the S1 TC1 SP control surface. You can get the select bundle, which gives you a 2-stripe control panel. Then there's the Lux bundle that not only gives you the 2-stripe control panel, but it also adds the NCIO IO module, which gives you 4 more inputs for SDI inputs. So very cool on those TriCaster bundles. Now, one of the things we like to talk about here, and this is important, is that we know we're video guys. We love you. We hope you love us. We sell our products. We ship all over the United States. But sometimes you want to find a local dealer, someone who can not only give you advice on which version of the products you see here you need, but can come in, install it, help you wire it, help you get it set up, put some other products together for your studio, and even train you and your staff how to do it. Well, we have a network of dealers throughout the United States who we can recommend very highly. They're all good guys, depending where you are. So if you're in that kind of situation, you saw our show, drop us an email or give us a call. Say, hey, loved everything we saw on the show today, video guys, but I really want that local dealer who can give me that extra local love and attention. And we'll go into our database. We'll find a dealer as close as we can to you who carries the products you're interested in, and he'll reach out to you, he or she will reach out to you, and they'll get you a quote and help you get going and give you all the love you need. So very important that we understand that sometimes these products are, depending on your technical ability and the technical ability in your organization, you may want to bring in a third-party person who's a dealer who can really help you, and a reseller. And we've got a network of resellers we would love to recommend to you. So I just wanted to stress that, and that's with all the products you saw on today's show. Oh, but wow, what did I do wrong? Here we go. Want to talk about what we have coming up. That's today's show on mixers. We're going to do a little recap before that, but before we get into that, let's talk about what's coming up on future shows. September 22nd, back to school edition. I'm off. The guys are going to handle it. I think Adam's going to be our talent for that show, and he's going to talk about the questions we've been gathering over the last 3 weeks from educators across the country on different questions about not just the products, but some techniques and some other stuff and some ideas and stuff. So that's going to be a fun show. After that, I hinted a little bit, we're going to have Lynn Elliott from Telestream on. She's not only going to talk about Wirecast and Wirecast Gear, but they did an elaborate survey, which they sent out to thousands of their users and non-users. She's going to report on some of that data, which is really interesting. And then October 6th, new products and introductions. You know, we didn't have NAB, we didn't have IBC, but our vendors are still introducing new products, and we're going to talk to you about those products on that show, and we're really excited about that. All right, I hope you found these last 3 shows to be informational, educational, and help you out. I really think that if we're going to be successful with remote learning for our students, we have to make sure that engaging them is always on our mind. As a teacher, your content is king. What you're teaching is the most important thing, but we got to keep those kids engaged, whether they're little ones, you know, kindergarten, first, second grader, middle schoolers going through adolescence, high school kids who think they know everything, or college kids who are frustrated that they're remote when they want to be on campus, they want to be meeting new friends and doing activities. We've got to keep these students engaged. And one of the ways we can do that is by using technology. So in our first show, we went over general remote tips for teachers. In our second show, we went over PTZ cameras and how you can use those to create the illusion of multiple camera angles and allow your show to have, you know, your production to have a little bit more value to it. And finally, in today's show, we really went into switches and mixers, and that's where you can really pick your game up to the next level. You can have multiple cameras, graphics, pictures in pictures, virtual sets. What we're doing here is a virtual set. Adam, can we take the green screen down and show people what's actually behind me in real life? Dun, dun, dun. Nothing. I'm just standing in front of this screen. Everything else is coming through our mixer, our TC1. So what's it doing? Build it back up there if you can, Adam. I'm in front of a virtual set. And then I have the output of this laptop, as I showed you before, coming in via Wi-Fi NDI, coming into our virtual set. And Adam's got it positioned on that little screen that you can see in there on the set back here. This is all done through the magic of technology, and I hope you found this show enjoyable and all these shows enjoyable. And I just want to stress that we have live people here at Videoguys who can help you. You can give us a call at 800-323-2325. You can ask for Adam, you can ask for Oliver, you can ask for Jim, me, Jen. We have people who will get on the phone, talk to you about our products, help you decide what product's best for you. If you need that local level of support, we can refer to a dealer. But if you've got the technical chops, we'll be happy to spec out what you need. And if you run into problems with it, we will give you first-line tech support. That means if you get the product like a TriCaster or a Wirecast Gear, and you're running into some problems hooking it up, well, the same guys who are our salesmen use these products to run our shows, and they can give tech support for these products as well. So we're not as good as a dealer who's there who can give you instruction and install it for you, but I think we're the next best thing with the level of support and service that we do offer both before, during, and after the sale. So this is Gary from Videoguys. I hope you found these shows informative. Once again, today's show on mixers, you don't just have to be a teacher and educator. It goes for corporate video, it goes for worship, it goes for all kinds of video, virtual video events, whatever you're trying to do. Folks, Videoguys Live, 3 p.m. Tuesdays. You give me 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to teach you about products, technology that we have here every Tuesday. Please keep tuning in. As always, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, give us comments, give us love, spread the social media love to us, help us be more successful. We appreciate it. Gary from Videoguys, peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.